Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
You know what? I will. I will brag about it. I'll brag every day.
Okay, well, can you brag about our guest instead?
I will! Oh my god. Guys, we have a guest. And she's beautiful and amazing and wonderful and a mermaid. The queen of mermaids, really.
We have our first cryptid on the show. Finally.
It's true.
Wow.
It's about time this godless podcast ends.
Finally brought a deity on the show.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah. Jude, are you prepared to get
Thanks,
complimented for the next hour?
That's what we've prepared.
Oh, I'm ready. As a Leo,
Okay.
that's all I ever want. So, like,
Okay.
we're doing
Great.
good.
Get
We're
ready.
doing good.
Before we get into anything about the show, can we please talk about your birth chart, please? Thank you.
Yes. Let me pull up my co-star.
Okay, well,
Give me
as you all are
2
listening to
seconds.
this, Jude's a fake fan and doesn't know what her sun and moon are.
Oh,
so-
I know, like most, I do know my sun and my moon and my
She just wants to give out the
Excuse
deep
me.
cuts, okay?
Right. I'm trying to be thorough.
We want to do a real analysis.
First of all, anyone who doesn't have their co-star
Any-
tattooed on their body is a fake fan. So.
Oh my god.
Wow, I'm exposed. I'm canceled again. I've been canceled so many
God,
times.
you gotta
this week,
stop
y'all.
having that happen.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad
Damn.
habit to get into.
Okay, my sun is in Leo. My moon is also
Oh my
in
God.
Leo. My rising is Taurus.
Oh my god.
My Mercury is in Virgo. My Venus and my Mars are both in Cancer. My Jupiter is in Capricorn. My Saturn is in Aries.
What if I was just making these
Uranus.
sounds and I didn't know what astrology was?
Right? Just passing a lot of harsh judgments with no
I just have a
information.
soundboard
My-
over here of groans.
Do we need the rest of the
No,
outer planets?
I understand you. Everything that you just said makes complete sense from what I know about you. That
I heard Allie, like, turn to dust
Yeah.
when you were saying
Am I
that.
about to, like, be
I
dragged?
got
What's
snapped.
happening?
Actually. Folks, here's some spoilers for you about Infinity War. I die, actually. And
Oh,
then in
shit.
Endgame, I came back and died again.
Oh, shit.
So,
Whoa.
so
Huge
there's your
twist.
Avenger spoilers.
Wow.
Well, Queen Jude, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I went to therapy. I did adult
Damn.
things.
Hell yeah.
I streamed.
Wow.
I made food.
What'd you make?
It was a very productive day. I made creamy garlic parmesan orzo and some broccoli.
Ooh. Ooh.
It was so
God
good.
damn.
Ooh.
All right, well, Jude's obviously doing better than all of us. Cody, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing great, and solely because Lemonade is now on Spotify,
Yeah.
and that's
Bless.
all I've been listening to since it's dropped on Spotify.
I love that this 3-year-old album is truly being a toddler and demanding attention by coming
Yeah.
back into the spotlight.
Listen, it's what she deserves, okay?
I agree.
Like, I forget how good it is because I don't listen to it because I don't have Tidal because I'm not a cop or Jay-Z. So
Because I'm not a narc, so...
I'm not a fucking narc.
I'm not a cop.
So I would only listen to it if I see, like, the visual, if I rewatch the visual album, which I don't do regularly.
Right.
But that album is perfect front to back. Like, every song is good.
So
There are
good.
no skips. It's perfect.
I made a strong executive choice in 2016, back when I was still getting money for my student loans, and purchased the album. Because,
shit.
again, I'm not a narc. And so
Yeah.
I'm glad that this
Take that,
conversation is
Jay-Z.
coming back into the conversation, because I haven't slept on this. I've been listening to it since it came out. So y'all are great. You're great.
I
I'm
didn't
glad you
sleep on it. I just didn't have it. I knew its goodness. I
Well-
just didn't regularly listen to it because there's so much stuff to listen to.
'Cause
you know? And
you've
sometimes
been-
things get lost in the void.
That's fair. You've just been knee deep in sex shit from this show. That
yes,
makes sense.
yeah. I've been trying to purge myself from this show with other media.
Yes. Speaking of media, let's do this. What is one thing in media that you've enjoyed this week? Because I have some hot takes to bring to the space.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, since you didn't do a check-in. What are you...
Oh, yes.
what are you doing?
I'm great, obviously.
I'm always flawless and perfect, and my life is super good.
Cody never asks how I'm doing because the answer is the same every week, and it's fantastic.
I always assume you're just having the best day ever, every day.
Every day that we get to record this, I'm always at my happiest.
Yeah.
I'm great. I have 2 pieces of media to bring to the space today. One, this week, last week when y'all are listening to this. Time is fuck. I went to go see Booksmart and for an early screening, and it made me laugh my ass off the whole time because A24 knows what it's doing with movies. Yeah. And I loved it a lot. Here's what I'm going to bring to the space, though. I did see High Life, and I hated it. Now go on.
That is a hot take. I still haven't seen it, so
I fell asleep in it.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, Cody, can you give Jude a debrief of what High Life is?
Yeah, welcome. So, High Life is the new Robert Pattinson movie.
Yes.
It's Claire Denis, who's like a very famous French director, and everyone loves her, and she's amazing. And this is her most recent film. And it's basically Robert Pattinson being a space dad, ?
Yes.
That's,
okay.
Yeah.
Which, if you go on that premise alone,
right,
it's
solid
fantastic.
premise.
And I knew nothing other than that it was a horny movie. So I went in, I was like, all right, our Pats is in there. He looks sexy as hell. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and I think this definitely contributed to my movie watching experience, is I was in a movie theater that was incredibly hot, which movie theaters are not supposed to be hot. It was not well ventilated and warm. There were 10 other people in there. And I want you to imagine that if you do end up seeing this, of the kind of content that Claire Denis produces, which is highly horny, in a warm room with
and, like,
10
sweaty.
other strangers.
You know? Yeah.
In absolute silence. It was like...
Yeah. No thanks.
It was somehow worse than...
I'm
yeah,
good.
well, same. Okay, that's all I have to say. I'm going to get that off my chest.
What the
Yeah.
heck?
All I'm going to say is I was watching a lot of things on the screen about cum in absolute silence with strangers because everyone was afraid to make a sound.
Yeah.
That's what
okay.
I'm going to say. Cody, Jude, what are you loving right now?
I've been watching a lot of Twitch streams.
Hell yeah.
Which doesn't necessarily count.
Hell yeah. No, that
But-
counts. Live
That
your
absolutely
truth.
counts.
Yeah,
Live your truth.
I've been watching a lot of Twitch streams, which has been fun. But also, Jenna Marbles released a video doing an Easter egg hunt with her
Oh
dogs.
my god, I saw that.
Wow.
And it is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Like, we truly do not deserve her.
No.
No.
Especially because
She's
she's
just
been
so
in the
good.
game for so long.
Right. And has stayed consistently like a good person.
Yes.
That doesn't exist.
I haven't even done that.
No.
Like,
No.
what the fuck?
She's just so
God.
good and so pure, and I love
my
her.
gosh.
And like that was just great. I was like, this is the content that I'm on this platform
God
for.
bless.
Yeah.
Cody, what are you loving right now?
I wouldn't say I'm loving it, but I am regularly watching it. The new season of The Bold Type.
Okay.
If
But
you're
are
familiar,
you loving it?
No,
Well,
I'm not.
then why are you bringing it to the space?
I didn't realize the ambassador for McDonald's was on this podcast. The fucking street king for McDonald's is here.
You know, they did reach out. They do need more advertising, specifically in an audio media.
Yeah, they gave us millions of dollars to sneak that in.
Surprise.
But The Bold Type is basically a show on Hulu and also another channel that I forget which one it's on. Freeform. It's on Freeform.
Freeform.
It's on Freeform. And
You can just call it the CW. Like, it's fine.
right, the Diet CW.
Yeah.
It's still ABC Family, whatever. But it's about like a woman's publication living in the big city and having a lot of sex and like all this shit or whatever. And I think it's very fun, but I think it makes a lot of choices.
Bold choices?
Bold in not a great way.
Okay.
But also the show is so horny that I refuse to stop watching.
Okay.
Cuz I love watching girls just be horny and like having a great time.
That's
There's
fair.
a lot of ethical quandaries that just kind of get shoved under the rug, but they're getting laid, and that's great for them.
All right.
So,
All right.
hey. All right.
Honestly, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Matthew McConaughey, today.
Yeah. Long-time patron.
Oh my god. Okay. We have some things to discuss today. Some important things, I would argue. This first thing is from the Daily Mail, which, if I remember right, is like a shitty website, right? Like, they make an awful paper. Am I wrong?
I am not informed enough on the Daily Mail.
I feel like I follow enough people on Twitter that are from the UK that hate this thing.
Yeah. It does seem like more of like a Post kind of, like a New York Post kind of thing.
Yes, I agree. Basically, the Daily Mail is going in on E.L. James, which, finally,
it's about time. It's about time.
Someone stepped up to the plate.
It's about time.
Because everyone else is a fucking coward.
Yeah, they're all fake fans, essentially. From what I can tell about this is there's some, it seems like, well-deserved criticism of the Mister because of the fact that E.L. James portrayed Albanians as, like, all gangsters, I guess. Which, you're just swinging in a different direction, E.L. James, and it's still bad. I don't like it.
Just stop.
Someone, does she know that you can just have a private blog and, like, you don't have to publish things?
Someone just take her writing privileges away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to do it, but, like, someone just, like, I don't know.
Also, what is it about E.L. James that makes her love writing about other countries she has probably never been to?
I honestly have no idea.
Like, she did that with Seattle, where, like, you can attest to, was not an accurate depiction
No!
of Seattle, or just, like, how people talk in America in general. And now she's like, you know what? I got Albania, for sure, in the bag.
Oh my god.
That's in my repertoire.
I want her to stop. I want her to go live in the forest somewhere and decompress with all of her sex toys and just, like, live. And I don't want to know about it anymore.
I'm tired.
I'm looking at this photo that they have of her on the Daily Mail, and she looks so snarky. She's like, oh, that thing you like? I'm going to make it trashy and disrespectful.
I think it's the bangs.
I think it's there's like a smirk behind her eyes.
Deep behind her eyes.
And I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Just, E.L. James, stop, please.
She looks like one of those people who, like, when I worked in taco places, would be really mad about me correcting her for saying tortilla.
Oh my god. Well, actually, oh, E.L. James, I hate you. I don't know you, but I don't like you. I can say that about so many people.
Yeah,
that's
true. Yeah, that's most people, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair, actually. Okay, so this next thing is from a place I don't know that we've ever talked about before. Is Decider, the After Dark edition. I don't know.
Let's get sexy, everyone.
Let's talk about sex in this space.
Strap in. Turn off the lights. We're getting horny.
The first thing that comes to my mind here is that they have a slideshow of the scenes from Breaking Dawn Part 1 where they're doing the sex. And if you click on the fourth one in the slideshow, it is just a gif of Robert Pattinson breaking that fake headboard. And I can't stop watching it.
It's so satisfying. It's like those slime videos where they're just kind of like breaking stuff.
The slime ones I can't watch. I only watch the paint mixing ones.
Paint mixing is good. Slime, I can only watch the crunchy or like the phloem ones. I need texture. If it's your fucking weak ass slime, I want no part of it. That is not entertaining.
I like the soap cutting ones, and that's the only ones that I like.
I just found out about those, and it's like the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Can we change?
Yeah, the soap cutting ones are
our
great.
Podcast to just this.
This is obviously internet content. That's very soothing.
Oh my god. Anyways, this Decider After Dark thing is basically, like, the title literally says we need to talk about the vampire sex scenes in Twilight, which, first of all, Amy Menta, you're a fake fan, because this didn't happen in Twilight. This happened in Breaking Dawn Part 1, so get your shit right for
Oh
one.
my god.
Obviously.
We need the SEO, Allie. They need the...
This is Allie's letter to the editor.
This blushing bride of Edward Cullen would not have had sex in Twilight because he almost bust a nut just looking at Bella. So, like, that's not gonna happen. He needed a little
Just
bit
by
more time.
smelling this woman, he was like, oh no.
Oh, no.
Man.
Oh, God. There's so many things that stand out to me about this. Mainly the fact that someone got away with writing "who boy" in an article. Which is fine. So, anything that stands out to the two of you, other than this highly edited first photo?
That is very good. I want to talk about number 8, which
Thank
is
you.
where they have chess, where they play chess and they're getting their sex on, and it's great. But like this pose it is so. I hate looking at it.
It's so phallic.
It's very phallic, yes, because you see just like one lone chess piece just in between them. But also like Edward
I
is
hate
doing
that.
this weird squat
Wow.
where he's got like one leg up.
Hey, future
As if he's
Cody,
like
can
taking
you-
a knee. It doesn't make
my
any
God.
sense, and it's the least natural thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. I hate that so
Yeah.
much. But
I don't like looking at his knee.
Yeah, no.
number 5 makes me want to die.
Yeah.
As someone who like just like worked in customer service and whatever, like you came into this hotel and you wrecked literally everything.
Yeah, I have the utmost respect for the keepers because, like, that was their home. They like were just making it nice every day.
Can you two
for
think
them.
of anyone but yourselves, please?
Yeah, Jesus.
There's an honorary mention for number 7, which is the most haunting part of breaking down part 1, and that's saying something. The mirror version of Arpats haunts me to this day,
Yeah,
and I hate it.
yeah.
That's just not what his face looks like. That's what neither of their faces look like. I have questions. Also, I don't know why this is the first time I've noticed it, but the fact that Arpats is in a polo in this scene kills me a little bit.
Like, these people are so
They're
rich.
role-playing.
They have infinite wealth, and they're like polo shirts. That's the fucking move.
Gotta wear Old Navy today. Doing it again. God damn it. I
Didn't have to do it to him. You didn't.
Oh,
You gotta do it to
No,
them.
they didn't have to.
No, they had to. They had to.
apparently they did.
They got married. Bella had to do it to him. It's fine.
Hey,
She really did it to
ew.
him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She really did it to him. It's
Listen,
like,
she
didn't
was
have to. She did
repressive
it for
a
us.
very long time, so by the time it all came out,
She
she really
deserved
did it
it.
to
It's
him.
fine.
Oh my god, everyone shut up. I can't believe that I forgot to say this at the beginning of the show. Jude, okay, this makes sense because we're about to look at a Screen Rant Corner. Hi, Screen Rant Corner. Jude, can you please tell us your journey of Twilight?
Oh yeah. So, I was like my phase with Twilight was like the most terrible time because I was the worst kind of Twilight person. Like, I like loved it so much, and like it was when I first got into theater, like in the 7th grade, and when the movie came out, our theater teacher like let us watch it in class.
Oh my god. Why?
And I was the person to point out every single thing that was wrong. Like, it was a time.
Oh my god.
But like,
That's beautiful.
our theater teacher also really liked Twilight, so like
Was it me?
she would read the
Yeah.
books with us. Like she would read the books with us like outside of class. Like there was like a group of like 5 of us that were like really, really close.
Oh my god.
And like I have this very vivid memory of like after graduating middle school and going off to high school, like we all went to go watch Eclipse. Like I have a very vivid memory of that.
Oh my god.
Wow.
But yeah.
Okay, first of all, your theater teacher sounds like the coolest, so what
Yeah,
the fuck?
Allie is rewriting her lesson plans right now.
Yeah, if I didn't realize that I could just show Twilight in school. I never thought to open myself up and be that vulnerable. But the fact that your teacher was like, all right, everyone shut up. We're not going to talk about Into the Woods anymore. Brian, shut up about Oklahoma. We're just going to talk about current theater. In the form of
It was
this
great.
Summit movie. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's...
I'm gonna show you what real art is. Open up your eyes.
Open up your eyes to all this blue.
Get ready.
Oh my god. Okay. Alright, so welcome back to Screen Rant Corner.
Pew, 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 pew.
we are looking at the most important article that Screen Rant has produced.
To date.
To date, Thomas is doing the Lord's work, and this is every major Twilight character from weakest to most powerful officially ranked. Now, Jude, I want to give you the honor of looking through this list and telling us what is right and what is wrong.
Hold on. Give me a second.
Yes. And this guy
Okay, this is already wrong. This is literally already wrong. Number 16 is Charlie. Are you kidding
It's so
me?
disrespectful.
It's rude.
Charlie is the strongest person in the Twilight Saga. Don't act.
Nope.
Also,
No
like,
one's
did
gonna
we
at you in
forget
this
he
space.
has, like, a gun? Like...
Right.
Did you forget he's a white man with a gun? Like,
Yeah,
I
I-
don't understand.
He's a white
He's a
man with a
police
mustache
officer.
and a gun. Like...
He's also a police officer.
Yeah.
Arguably, like, the scariest person in this, but he's not because he's Charlie.
Right, but he wields the most power. He
That's
doesn't,
true.
like, use it in a bad way, but it's there, you know?
But still.
I've never related to
I
any
think-
photo more than I do of this photo of Charlie Swan. It's just absolutely weak and exhausted.
That's, you know what? I would also be exhausted if Bella was my daughter.
Honestly,
So, like,
True.
it's
He
fine.
tried so hard.
He's doing his best.
Rosalie can stay where she is. I don't necessarily, like, have that much of a connection with
Also, who
Rosalie.
made this photo?
I
of
think...
her?
Yeah, what
I
is this,
know.
like,
It's
boudoir
a-
shoot with Rosalie?
And
I don't know
it's
what's
like
happening.
not her body. It's been so photoshopped that it's like
Yeah.
that's not her. Anyway.
No.
I think Carlisle and Esme deserve to be higher. Like, there's just a disrespect for parents.
Yeah,
I'm
what's
upset.
all this dad shaming?
And what's up with my mom and my wife, Esme Colon in Uggs here, being so low in this ranking?
Right.
And also, why the fuck is she in Uggs?
This is
It's the
my
source of
phobic.
her power.
It's honestly rude.
This is my phobia at its finest.
Yeah.
True. Oh my god.
James deserves to be lower. Why is he number 9?
James is awesome. And
Like, I think he's great, but I also think he deserves to
James
be
is
lower.
the number one fan, Allie.
here's the thing, I meant to say awful and awesome came out.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't think we've ever talked about Allie liking James in any comparison. I think your opinion was
problem is-
lukewarm at best.
His neck in this is like
I was
this.
like, damn, okay.
His neck
Man,
in this
James
so
is
big.
awesome.
And I didn't know what other word could possibly describe that than like the literal word of causing me awe. Because his neck is terrifyingly large.
It's
Do you see
Thick.
those veins? I'm concerned.
he's got a cool
Fuck.
jacket though, so that's some power points already.
That's fair.
I also think
That's some yeehaw
Edward
energy.
needs to be lower. He's a babby. I think he deserves to be lower.
He is the definition of I'm baby. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's baby.
I don't think it's fair that the Volturi are so high on this
go
list.
off, please.
Like, I don't think it's fair. Like, of course, if we're thinking about, like, powers, they're gonna be the most powerful because that's how a monarchy works.
Sure.
But, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, wait, how about you fucking decolonize your list, Screen Rant? Jesus. Come on.
Why do you have to be so imperialist? Jesus Christ, screaming.
Also, did I forget that Alec has a mullet?
You did, apparently.
Because I did not realize that he was a lesbian icon. I didn't realize that.
He just saw Case
You know what?
Went for it.
Yeah.
He was inspired.
Right, recast. Reboot. Let's just have her with a mullet.
Can you imagine the audacity if they ever film Life and Death and they cast him as Beaufort and Sons or whatever the fuck his name was?
Why?
Why does he have a tie-on under this jacket?
I don't know.
I'm concerned.
It's also wrapped so weird.
Who dressed
This
you?
tie is fucked up.
Like, part of being powerful is having fashion sense, and you don't. So I don't understand.
Damn.
I don't get
Damn.
it.
Holy shit.
Also, Jacob's number
the only
2.
thing...
Sorry?
Gross.
Sorry? Excuse me?
Oh.
No, Allie, don't.
Listen, okay, I get it. He's awful, alright? There's no excuses. I understand at this point. I am learned and I am grown.
But there's still a
Taylor
physical
Lautner
reaction
still
you have.
fuck.
But this
I
isn't
get it.
Taylor
He's not
Lautner.
the-
This
he's
is
not-
Jacob.
I agree.
Right, he's not the second most powerful in the
I agree.
series. Like, I do agree that Renesmee is the most powerful in the series.
Yeah, she's a
I
bad
feel
bitch.
like- She is a
She's
bad bitch.
Look at this
I feel
powerful
like-
stare.
She's
She's smizing. She's got...
She is. I feel like if they're going to go with the idea that Renesmee is number one, they need to at least have her tied with the other half vampire boy.
Oh,
Who's
yeah,
like-
sure.
Because, like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. No, for sure.
Um,
But yeah, those are my
all right.
thoughts.
They're good thoughts.
yeah, I agree with all of them. Holy shit. Someone needs to take that photo of Aro from this list and make it into a meme, because there's something there. I don't know what it
It's
is,
so
but there's something
good.
there.
It's really good.
It is. It's very powerful.
I'm screen capping that. I'll figure it out. It's
I'll
fine.
make it work.
Thank you.
I'll make it work.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
workshop
figure
it. We'll figure it out.
Someone needs to do something with it. Okay.
out.
Holy shit. So, we do have one question today. And I am very curious about your opinions on this, Jude. This question comes from someone that we can't name because they don't give us money. And
You don't have to do that disclaimer every time. It's so mean.
But I will!
It's so funny. It's my favorite part about listening to the pod. It's just
All right,
Ellie
damn. I didn't know it was
going,
a
"They
crowd
don't give us
favorite.
money."
All right, keep it in.
Alright. Would the Colons get away with being in the sun nowadays since the dewy and sparkly look is in? They'd just be forever glowing.
No.
Say more.
It's so, like, if we're talking about, like, the kind of, like, dewy and sparkly that's, like, in the films, like, that's obviously not, like, human level dewy and sparkly.
Right, there's a difference between, like, natural glow, Glossier, like, dew, skincare, all that shit, and then,
Yeah.
like, the highlighter, full face of highlighter challenge. Like,
True.
I'm very much about using highlighter so bright that, like, aliens see me from space.
Sure, of
But
course.
no one is gonna mistake me for a Cullen. Like,
Alright. That's fair. It's...
what were your
I don't
thoughts?
know. I just...
Why do you sound so sad?
I just kind of like the idea.
that's
of
just
them
the
being able to go
default
outside.
voice that comes around. It's either just
Rude.
loud rage or just sad, meek. Like,
That's
a little
true.
upset. And that's in the Gemini, folks.
I gotta go. I hate the space.
This drag.
Listen, I just like the idea of Esme and Carlisle being able to go to a mall and not be afraid. And
No, that's fair. Listen, if they want to go out and have a great time in the sun, that's fine. That's their right. But they will look like their full face is covered in highlighter. And that
They
could be a look. That's fine. That could be
That's
runway. That could be...
That
That's
could
the
be
whole
runway.
does
They're also... That could be runway. That could be couture. I don't know. But yeah, I do think
hi,
the full
welcome
body
to Cody's
point...
fashion corner.
Hi, I am Vogue.com.
No, just call me Cody. My dad is Vogue.
Oh my god. Yeah, I do think the full body element, though, is questionable and will be talked about, surely, by onlookers. But, again, that's their right, you know?
Now
They
here's
can
a
chase their
question for
bliss.
you. And I didn't think this would ever come up, but I guess I do have a mermaid type question. If a vampire, this sounds like a riddle, it's not. If a vampire was standing out in the sun on a seashore, could they make a ship crash?
Ooh.
Hold on, I gotta think.
Take that with your blunt
It
and
would-
smoke it.
Damn.
It would depend on, like, how bright the sun is. And, like,
Shit.
Yeah,
No.
it can't be overcast. Like, it has to be,
no, because, like, their shine is determined by, like, how bright the sun
Yes.
is. And so, if a ship is sailing by and it's, like, semi-bright and the shine, like, coming off of them isn't bright enough to, like, touch the ship,
Yeah.
then, like, no. But if it's, like, in the Bahamas where, like, the sun burns you if you're out for more than 20 minutes, then, like, yeah.
Consider vampire mermaids. Is that anything?
I don't know if, like, vampire mermaids would, like, exist only because mermaids still need, like, vital organs and, like, the ability to, like, breathe with their gills in order to, like, survive. And also, like, they would be too heavy. So, like, if we're talking about, like, Twilight vampires and how they're, like, cold and, like, kind of, like, made of stone, like, they would be way too heavy to, like, float.
I'm so glad we have a historian on this podcast.
Yeah, I didn't expect actual science to come from that.
I'm glad someone knows something for fucking once on this
That
show.
was the smartest thing anyone's ever said on this podcast. Full stop.
Literally, while I was asking that, I was thinking, like, if a mermaid was going 60 knots and a ship was going 80 knots, would they collide? And you just came out here with, like, actual science. What the fuck?
I was just gonna say that Vampire Mermaid sounded like a funny ska band name, and now I just feel like a fool, because you had, like, a whole thing.
And I think now
so
we're
sorry.
obligated to give this show to you? Like, what the fuck?
It's your birthright now, I think.
I feel like we just lost
I'm
a
so
battle I
sorry.
didn't know we were in.
Yeah.
Well, God. Anyway.
I love talking about philosophical questions. It's one of my favorite things. I don't get to do it enough.
Wow.
Hey. I'm glad we finally got some mermaid discourse on this show, though. It's about time.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get into this awful piece of literature?
Yes.
Ooh,
Okay.
mama. Let's do it.
Now,
I have so many notes.
okay, good. I'm glad. Did you watch the show?
No, so I went in
welcome.
blind.
Holy shit. Okay. Wow. First of all. Okay, so then if you've got notes, why don't you start us off? What are some initial thoughts that you had from these two chapters?
Okay. Listen. Okay, so I read the first paragraph, and I was like, oh, is this in, like, first person? Like, in a weird, like, kind of, like, second person? And I was like, wait, no, this is someone observing someone else.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is not
Yep.
us walking into the bookstore. It is, in fact, Joe observing Beck. Yeah.
I was like, this is literally the worst thing. So this is, like, my worst nightmare. Like, living in New York City, this is literally my worst nightmare.
Yeah, I guess we did bring a resident expert to the space, since this is something that you are familiar with in this area.
I was just like, wow, this is awful. This is terrible. This is literally everything I do not want. And so, like, a lot of my notes are just me writing. My first note is when, in the beginning of the second paragraph, where he's like, my own little Natalie Portman circle the end of the movie closer. And I wrote, it's literally been 4 seconds. Please calm down, sir.
That's it, though. Like, that's the whole thing. Especially in the show, like, I mean, there's a push and pull, because I think the show is worse in the way that you hear the narration, and that's bad, and I hate having to listen to it. But also in the book, I think there's a lot more of it, and there's a lot more detail.
And I hate
because I don't think, and that's also bad. And I don't think the Natalie Portman thing was in the show.
No.
Or there was another reference or something. I don't think it was Natalie Portman. But he fucking goes in on Natalie Portman. Like, he just brings her up every 5 minutes. It's like, man, she's hot. Remember this movie she was in?
Ugh. If there's two things to know about Joe Goldberg from these two chapters, which you do not get from the TV show, is that he is obsessed with Natalie Portman, and he is sexually aroused by little hands.
Yes!
That
was a huge component of his chapters.
The only thing I could think of was that sketch from SNL with the little plastic hands.
Oh no.
The hands, they're so small.
I was so distracted.
Yeah.
I was just really distressed when he was talking about, like, finding her through the internet. I was like, literally, my whole job is on the internet.
Right.
This is my worst fucking nightmare. And, like, when she sneezes, and he's like, I imagine how loud you are when you climax. I was eating dinner while I was reading this. And I went, I literally said out loud, I have so many questions. And I was, like, sitting alone at the dinner table reading this. And I was like, this is why I'm, like, I hate men. Like, this is, like, whenever I want to, like, remember how much I hate men, like, I'm just going to read these two chapters.
Yeah. The thing that strikes me the most in these first couple paragraphs is, like, as soon as Joe sees Beck, his first thought is, holy shit, I need to take an Ativan. Which, I mean, relatable, but also like, Joe, chill. Like,
Right,
this
relax.
person doesn't even know who you are. And then second, that sneezing bit was so out of left field for him to be like, wow.
Right.
When someone sneezes, the first thing that comes to my mind as Joe Goldberg is how they sound when they are coming.
I really hope I don't sound that way because I sneeze like Pikachu. So that's not fun for me.
No. I'm like really looking forward to seeing Detective Pikachu. Don't say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ryan
so
Ryan Reynolds already makes that movie sexual enough as it is for being
Right.
a cartoon movie.
That movie's already too horny. We gotta
Exactly.
fucking reel it in.
Oh my god. Also, the fact that all of us had to read the phrase, you giggle and holler back, you horny girl.
Ugh. God.
Ugh.
I hate that. Also, can we talk about how Joe has never spoken to a woman in his life? And I know this because he says in his brain, excuse me, miss, but we're closed. And you'll look up and smile. Well, I'm not closed. A breath, I'm wide open. Have you ever spoken to a woman in your entire life?
Also, I think this is an important part of that quote. He ends it with buddy. If you're trying to, I don't know, seduce a woman that you're attracted to and you think is maybe coming on to you, I don't think buddy is the appropriate term in that scenario.
No, I don't think that you want to be
just-
gal pals with Beck, my man.
No.
That's not how this works.
No.
Oh my god. Yeah, this whole first scene was terrifying to me because the idea, I would run out of a bookstore if I heard one of the clerks being like, get fucked, asshole, like as someone was leaving.
Right.
And that comes
Right.
from someone that worked customer service and wanted to say that all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But just this dude at 10 o'clock in the morning judging people for what they're buying, which is literature, sir.
Yeah.
And just being like, oh my god, this pretentious asshole. Rah, 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 to himself.
It's just like, wow, I love that you've never, like, watched reality TV.
Yeah.
You fucking prick. You know how good The Bachelor is?
You went off the grid off Facebook like 4 years ago. We get it.
We get
You're
it.
super
You're
cool
involved.
and don't
We
need social
get it.
media.
And the fact that Beck goes up there to like check out and like wants to get her books and probably doesn't want to have a conversation with this weird dude at 10 o'clock in the morning, and yet he's just won't shut up. And I love the part where it says, I don't know if you know, but you don't tell me to stop talking the way that some people sometimes do, and you nod. And she just says, if I ever say to someone out loud, I want them to shut the fuck up. So I can't relate.
Yeah, never means
can't relate.
continue.
No,
Never.
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 Oh God.
I'm so glad I have a resting bitch face. People don't do that to me.
That's good. I can't relate. I mean, sometimes here's the problem. I have a resting bitch face, but I also like to talk to people, and so it's a very confusing space to live in. Fuck. Anyways, can we talk about the part where he psychoanalyzes the fact that she has a yellow phone case?
Yes.
Yes. Where is my note for it? Because I definitely, like, put a thing. Hold
The
on.
fact that he was like, oh, a cracked phone, but a yellow phone case. Oh my.
Does she want attention?
This whole thing.
Oh.
Go ahead.
My note was literally just the word what spaced out between letters. Because he says, in his brain, of course, this means that you only take care of yourself when you're beyond redemption. And I'm like, what the fuck?
What does that mean? Yeah, he is obsessed with the colors that she has. Like, yellow phone case, these pink pants, which remind him of Charlotte's Web for some reason.
Yeah.
Which is gross.
Yeah.
Weird.
Weird
Also, the
things.
fact that he's like, oh, you don't take care of your phone. You're a bad mommy. You're dirty. And it's like, why is this so sexual off the bat?
Oh my god. And also, like, it makes sense that Joe Goldberg would eat Twizzlers because they're objectively the worst kind of licorice, but I didn't need to read the fact that, like, these 3 sentences together are, your nipples pop. You don't cover them. You notice the Twizzlers. I keep by the register. Like, Joe, where are you right now?
Like, I'm so sorry that, like, nipples are gonna nipple.
Right.
Like,
Listen.
Oh, God. And the fact that he's making it such a big deal that she doesn't have a bra on. It's like, sorry, sir. Like,
It's just like looking at every angle. It's like, does she have a bra on? From here? From here? From here?
just lays on the counter.
oh my God.
What about from this
Like,
angle? Can you see it? Can you see it?
He probably wouldn't even know what a bra looks like, if I'm being honest. So,
Does he even, like, know how to human?
No.
Like,
No.
So many
No.
questions.
There's a lot of things Joe does not know how to do.
no.
I have so many questions.
Especially, so here's the main difference that I noticed from this first scene too, is so in the TV show, Beck also pays for her books with her card. And
Yeah.
he's still doing that, like, over monologue, talking about how she didn't pay with cash because she wanted him to know her name.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed more plausible in a TV show than it did in this scene because of the fact that he was not subtle about, like, oh, your name is Guinevere Beck. Like, if someone ever read my card,
Like,
I would
out loud to
disappear.
me.
It's like, oh, your security code is 5272? I'm not going to remember that.
Also,
Fucking
I had a question about that
terrifying.
interaction too, because from what I can remember from the show, his name tag says Joe. But in the
Yes.
book, she's like, oh, nice one, Goldberg. And it's like, does your name tag just say Goldberg on it? Does your name tag have your
first name
last
is
name?
Goldberg? Oh my God. All I could imagine was the fact that he, like, hand wrote his name tag, which he does in the TV show, but it makes more sense to me that he made it in person
Right.
in the book.
Yeah.
Also, the end of this chapter is this grossest sexual thing of things that shouldn't be, of him just, like, looking at the ink that she put on this receipt and just, like, touching it.
Yeah.
Sir,
It's-
what if you get audited? Like,
The fucking IRS is coming for you, bitch.
yeah.
It's so disgusting how detailed it is, because it's like, I put my thumb, like, on your wet signature and, like, get it into my fucking skin. It's like, what?
Gross.
I, like, hate everything about it.
Awful.
It honestly, that felt more out of place than him just, like, taking a Sharpie and writing her name on his skin. Like, I don't...
Right,
Something
yeah.
about this was more creepy to me.
It's so much more intimate and, like,
Ugh.
weird.
And it's just, it's very much makes sense of their relationship that Beth, like, leaves the store and is already in her own head, listening to music again on her phone, and here Joe is just staring at this receipt, like, licking it. And it's like, what the fuck is up with you? God. Anyway, chapter 2. Big thoughts here.
No.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's it. That's my thought. It's just, no.
Yeah.
It gets
You're correct.
worse.
You're correct.
So I, like, as much as I, like, hate this narrative, I really, like, enjoy that the author is pointing out the, like, creepy shit in rom-coms.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's intentional, but, like, it's really, really, like, interesting for them to, like, see where, like, Joe is coming from,
Sure. Yeah.
like, in that way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, in his brain, like, yes, it's wrong, but, like, in his brain, like, this is what romance
Right.
is. And so, like, yes, this is a bad thing to do, but also, if this is, like, the only thing that you know how to do, then, like, you're gonna do it.
And I also think there's a power to, conversely, of, like, having him be the narrator, right? Because you're giving him, like, validity in that opinion in some sort of way, right? Where, like,
Right.
so, I don't know, it's just, like, there is some form of a critique on it, but because, like, his voice is the dominating voice here, it is the one that is seen as, like, just and correct, right? And there's not, like, any outward source that's, like, actively, like, critiquing it, right? At least from, like,
Right.
a text perspective.
It definitely doesn't feel
Right.
satirical
No.
at all. Which is awful because of the part where he says multiple times in this chapter of, like, most people would think I'm the fuck up, most people would think I'm the nut in this situation, but you, Beck, you're the one nutting. So, like, what's happening here? God.
Yeah, right.
I do think that we need to take a moment and talk about Beck's Twitter for a second.
Yes.
My God, do we have to?
I think we do, because of the fact that it was haunting and made me question what this author thinks that Twitter is for.
Oh, for sure.
True.
I wish we had, like, a full montage of, like, these tweets in the show, because they're gold.
My God.
They are gold.
What I would
Nantucket is my homeboy, but New York is my home bitch.
I can't.
What?
I need to go.
This woman's a writer.
Yeah, this person is literally Beck is an MFA. Like, what the fuck? I have questions. The other thing that I found about this too is I'm just curious if Joe did this sleuthing without paying for websites, or if he went in and like paid to get her family records online. Because of the fact that he goes in detail about like, here's your dad, here's your brother, here's your sister, and here's everything that they do. I feel like there would have been more interest in the TV show to see him actually getting that information. Because we just
it might have been through, like, Facebook, though, too. Or, like, any of the...
Yeah.
Like... Because I feel like that happened in the show, too,
Like,
where it was like, oh, her dad was tagged in all these things, or, like, her
Right.
brother, or whatever. And, like, he just, like, did a full, like, flow chart of, like, every part of Beck's life.
I just want to see Joe with maps in a library. Like,
That's true.
I
I
want
will also... I'll say to that point, though, the one thing that I thought was interesting in the book as opposed to the television show was that we see him, like, get disguise outfits.
Oh my God.
Which is very funny and hilarious, but like it's a peek behind the curtain that I think I would have appreciated, because in the show
agree.
he just kind of like appears somewhere like in a full disguise or just like in a different, whatever. We never see how he gets anywhere, or like for the most part how he gets any of this information besides like a very glossed over like Google search. And it's like the interesting part here is how he like does all this stuff, right? Like that's supposed to be the nut here. But
I have a question.
Yes.
Did he just stop going to work?
So, okay, they don't really address this in the show either.
yeah.
But the way that this works is that the guy who owns this bookstore, we find out who and like his deal later on in the show, but presumably Joe is the manager of this place. There's one other guy named Ethan who works in this bookstore who's the greatest person in this whole fucking story.
It's true.
But I assumed that Ethan was working when Joe was not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think...
I was just like, it's been 2 weeks. Have you just stopped working?
You closed the
Sorry, I
bookstore.
don't have a job anymore.
Yeah. Oh my God. The other thing too is we really get a peek behind the curtain about who Beck is in the form of her likes and her food preferences in this that we do not get in the show.
Because women don't eat.
Well, that
media.
too. True. But if I had known that Beck was an instant oatmeal in Tupperware and a lean cuisine bitch, like, I feel like I would have had more sympathy for her in the show.
Yeah, for sure. And it falls in line with who she is. Like, she's just like a broke college student who's trying to, like, get, her shit together.
Exactly.
I will say, too, that, like, the apartment is much different in the book than it is in the show.
Yes.
Where, like, in the show, she has, like, I shit you not, the biggest fucking, like, New York apartment I've ever seen.
It's just
There's,
completely
full,
unrealistic.
Like, floor-to-ceiling windows. It's massive. There's a scene of Joe just, like, dancing through it because it's so large. Like, jumping from the bed to all these, like, the living room or whatever. It's massive. And in the show, she's, like, on her MFA stipend or whatever, and it's just, like, in this shoebox, like any other fucking broke-ass college student that's, like, just there.
Right.
With getting housing for whatever.
If there's any indication to how big her apartment was in the TV show, she wanted to get a king-size bed.
Right,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Who does that?
I can't even fit a king-size bed in my current bedroom.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there's no way. I do think that the fact that we find out that it was like 2 weeks of him kind of being a voyeur in this is wild, and it kind of contextualizes the experience of the TV show, I think. Mm-hmm. I think, I'm amazed. I guess I'm not amazed. It's just hauntingly gross to me how much he shames her for masturbating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, leave her alone.
She's just trying to do her best. Like, I don't understand.
But it's also a weird, like, yes, he's shaming her, but he's also, like, congratulating her on doing herself and not having other men fuck her.
Right.
It's like, oh, you're like, your body's a temple or whatever, and it's like, oh, it's better than you just, like, fucking carring a bunch of dudes in there and just getting it done. But it's like, why are you... The fact that you're even watching this and you're fucking, like, critiquing this and all this shit is, like, fucking bananas in general.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh,
Right.
thank God there's not a fucking dude, am I right? Who's
I feel
not
like it
worthy
goes
like
back
I am.
To what Joe was kind of initially critiquing in the TV show too, but I think that it hits your point, Jude, as well, because the fact that it felt like he didn't know anyone, especially women. The fact that he was like, you need to stay pure and always be ready for sex, but you also can't touch yourself and know anything about your own body.
No.
Ugh.
Or have anyone else do it.
Right.
Oh my god.
And it's just like, what the fuck?
I can't. There was a line that was like, the internet was designed with love in mind, and all I wrote was, I want to leave the internet.
Yeah. If that's true, then I'm leaving.
Joe Goldberg ruined the internet for me.
Joe Goldberg ruined it.
Sorry,
out
we
my
gotta
router
pack
right
up.
now.
Can't do it anymore.
We gotta go.
Going back to Beck's Twitter a little bit, can we talk about her hashtags in particular?
Always.
Yes.
Ooh.
This used to be what Twitter was like.
True.
And so I would just like to, like, contextualize, like, what year was this written?
That's a great question.
That is a good question. This was published in 2014. So I guess that makes a little bit of sense.
Still a little late.
Yes.
But
Yeah, still a little late,
in
but,
that
like...
general time span. Probably the tail end of that time span.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially because it seems like she's using these hashtags on purpose and not ironically. And again, I feel like that was very much like 2009, 2010 Twitter and not even into 2014.
Right.
Ugh.
Also, you can tell this was 2014 just by the amount of times she talks about Pitch Perfect.
Yes! Oh my god.
I didn't realize that was going to be such a cultural touchstone in this novel.
Yeah. I didn't wait.
I feel like she wrote it about something else, and then Pitch Perfect came out, and she was like, well, gotta switch this out now.
Let's be honest, folks, it was Glee.
Yeah.
It was Glee.
Yeah.
And she had to Control F all the time she said Glee and switch it to Pitch Perfect. Let's talk about Benji, who we get to see at the end of this chapter.
Yes.
He's unnamed, but his,
Okay.
but his name
I was
is
like,
Just a mess of hair.
I do feel like, and I guess it does make sense, right, that this was 2014, because I wish that she would have touched on the fact that when Benji came out of the taxi in the show, I think he was vaping. If not, it fits his character.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's not in here is honestly a disservice to his character.
Yeah.
Because that's just who he is. Like, Benji the fuckboy vapes. I think he didn't eat gluten. He was allergic to peanuts. Was it a brewery?
He
I think
he
he
has like a sparkling like water soda business.
Yeah.
I hate.
And he had a really fancy watch from all the money he made off of his
He was like the
sparkling
ultimate
water soda
fuckboy.
business.
Anyway. One of the things that I hated about this, and there was a lot that I hated about when Benji came into the space, but there's a part where Joe's like, you're opening the door, and now you're there, and you're guiding him inside, and your small hands.
Yeah,
And
they're
like,
so small.
what is happening?
The fact every time he brings up her hands, which is frequently in this chapter, it is like a new paragraph, and it is italicized. And
It's just
It's
too much.
awful.
I just...
taking a hint out of the Stephanie Meyer playbook for sure. But
For
Like-
real. And it's like, Joe, if you have a fetish, that's fine. Whatever. But, like, chill.
Like, we get it. You want her to choke you. I get it. However,
But listen,
focus.
this description of their, like, encounter is really gross, too, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, you climb on top of him and you grind like a stripper. And this is all wrong, Beck. He tears up your cotton panties, drag.
Drag rude.
And I cross the street and lean against your building door because I need to hear you moan. It's like,
I'm
no!
gonna vilify you for doing this, but also, I do need to watch it and hear it.
But I gotta know what's going on in there.
Oh my god.
It's just like, I can't. I literally cannot. And just like, you can't, like, partake and enjoy this and also shame me at the same time, Joe.
It's
But
the
he
same
wants to
shit
so
of
bad.
dudes who, like, watch a lot of fucking porn but, like, actively hate and vilify sex workers. Like, it's the
Right.
same fucking shit.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Joe, you're gross. In
Yeah.
so many different ways.
Gross.
Especially because I think it was earlier on in this chapter that he was kind of lamenting about her name and being like, you are a dream. You are worthy of this name that your asshole parents gave you. And, like, trying to make her seem like more than she is, which, again, he doesn't know her.
No.
He's just been watching her. And then when Benji ends up leaving at the end of this, which, first of all, after they have sex, apparently they still watch Pitch Perfect and he's just smoking, which is a lot.
Hey, you mind if I turn something on? I love this movie.
You know what? He could have just left.
He could have
I
just...
would have
And,
watched it
my
alone.
god, after they have sex, she just is like, you know what is inspiring right now? I should write a tweet. I should write an E.E. Cummings tweet.
Oh my god. I hate it.
Yeah. It's awful.
There's a part earlier where Joe's like, you parade too much and it's unsafe and it only takes one weirdo to spot you inside and decide to go and get you. And I'm like, you are the weirdo.
Yeah,
What are you talking
Yes.
about?
I hated that part because he keeps talking about how she has these open windows without blinds, and I think there was a part too where he said that he really wanted to go put bars on her windows. I was like, what the fuck, Joe?
Yeah, he calls it like a cage or something, like a beautiful
Yes.
glass cage.
Super normal thing.
Gross.
Right, yeah, just like super chill and great.
Really shows that you respect women, Joe. So
Women.
good.
I don't think he respects anyone.
No. I mean, he doesn't even. I think honestly, the only person that he respects in this chapter is that that older woman that he walks to the taxi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was it.
Ugh.
He's awful. And these first two chapters are gross.
At least they were short.
Gross.
They were
Can I
short.
make one quick comment?
Yes.
I'm tired of Joe commenting about her cotton panties just because maybe she cares about her vaginal
Yeah,
health.
come on.
Like,
Yeah, and like, let's be real. If she is eating out of Tupperware and eating lean cuisines, she's not going to be buying fancy underwear.
And also,
Right.
you can't say, like, a few pages earlier that her pussy is gold, a real quote in this
yeah.
fucking monologue, and then be like,
Yep.
these cotton panties? I don't know.
You want your vagina to breathe back? No. No one
How
can
dare
breathe.
you.
no. Not allowed.
Only I am allowed to breathe for your vagina, Beck. It's like, what the fuck, Joe?
That's a horrible
Stop.
image you just put in my brain.
I hate that. I hate that. Oh, I gotta go.
It's what he
But
said.
nice having
so
you. Thank you for joining the podcast.
I hate that so much.
I feel like that's how he would have sex for the first time, is he would think like he has to do CPR.
Stop.
No,
You can die
stop.
like that.
No,
You
please
stop.
I'm not doing
You can
anything.
die like that.
You stop. You're the one who said read this book. Read this book, you said. It'll be fine, you said.
I didn't say that.
And
You
it's
know it.
It's horrifying.
Oh, God.
Well, next week we have to read chapters 3 and 4.
Ew.
So, gross.
Gross.
We do need to take a second and thank our patrons.
Hell yeah. Do we want to do Reductress?
We should definitely do Reductress.
It's been a little minute.
It's been a hot second since we've done that. Oh, and there's some good ones right now. Okay.
I know. The homepage is good.
All right, Cody, why don't you start us off?
Yeah. Shout out to Sophia Salinger, who's gonna be... Barbie claims she just gets along better with Kens.
Oh my god. I would like to take a second and thank Erin Salinger.
Ow,
And this one is, ugh, I stayed home all day slapping my boobs, and now I feel terrible. So, that's a great time.
That's good. Shout out to Alex Blythe.
Holy shit.
Who's
Congrats,
gonna be...
Alex Blythe.
Thank you so much. 4 best dates for the Tinder dude you were messaging because you were bored, but now it's gotten carried away.
Oh my god. I would love to thank Marie Mooney. Marie Mooney is gonna be, I lived it. I found out my friend wasn't ugly in middle school.
Shout out to Taylor, Brown, Town, Lautner, Braver Than the Marines.
Honestly,
Give a salute. Who's gonna be Dude Corner. Why I'm not ready for a female president, but totally stoked for a woman to rule Westeros.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I would love to thank Katie Weber for honestly the most relatable thing I've ever seen on Reductress, which is 5 summer flats that will smell like ass by August. Oh god.
Shout out to Simon Motherfucking Steele.
Yoked
Guns for days. Who's
Simon,
gonna be...
we'll stop at some point, but like I'm
We're
gonna
just
keep
still
objectifying
stunned.
you. He could beat my ass. And I don't say that about a lot of people.
We gotta stop.
Okay, fine.
He's gonna be Iowa voters impressed by Pete Buttigieg's past experience as a white man.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay, Jude, can you please choose one of these from the homepage that you relate to?
I like the dude corner. I don't relate to it, but I like
It's a
that. I
good
also
one.
like the slapping boobs
Yeah,
one.
it's a very good one. Cody, what are you feeling it today?
Oh god. I'm feeling this Shetland pony is such a human girl.
I found one that directly relates to my experience as a teacher, which is being a mom doesn't get easier, but it also doesn't get better. Because
Amazing.
I relate a lot. Okay, I've been waiting for this for an hour. Jude, please, what is our fanfiction?
Okay. So, I was gonna go on fanfic.net to see if I could find a fanfic I wanted, but I went on AO3 instead, because I was like, let's figure out what's
Award
Hugo
winner,
Award
AO3.
nominated AO3.
So, there is this fanfic that it's called It Isn't Fate, But I Wish It Was.
Oh, God.
And I just want to read the summary. The summary says, Caroline follows Stefan to Forks after he disappears following Damon's death, yes, from the Vampire Diaries. There, they run into another set of doppelgangers named Edward and Bella. Unlike Caroline and Stefan, Edward is a completely different type of vampire. His heart doesn't beat, he has no bloods, and he isn't burned in the sunlight. And I have a lot of questions.
Okay.
Particularly because Edward, like, the actors who play these characters look nothing alike. But then, at the end of this chapter, the paragraph says this. Surely, Alice must have seen her in a vision. I pulled out my phone out of my pocket to warn the Cullens that the threat was in town, but was interrupted by Angela. Bella, look, she gestured to the stranger's picture that she had left. There was a couple standing at what looked like a dance. That's Edward, she pointed at the man in the suit, and that's you. And there I was, in a dress I'd never worn, in broad daylight.
What the fuck?
Wow.
But then I went to the next chapter because I just had to figure out what was going on. And apparently, Stefan stabs Bella in the gut with like a stake.
What the fuck?
And Bella thinks it's Edward. And she goes, hold on, I have to find it because it's the best thing. So he stabs her. And he just goes, how are you alive? He snarled, I killed you. And then she just I stared at him, not having a clue what he was talking about. I started to lose consciousness from the lack of blood. And she just goes, why did you stab me? It hurts so much.
Yeah, mood.
Me.
So there's my fanfic.
That was beautiful.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I love that.
You're welcome.
There are so many choice quotes from today, but definitely don't stab me. It hurts so much. Is definitely a contender.
Yeah. Get that cross stitched. Put it above your
please.
Fireplace.
Please. Well, as we say in Seattle.
Should we let Jude like plug her shit?
Oh my god, yes.
Thank you, Jude, for being on this podcast.
Jude. I was just like not even paying attention. I was just like scrolling down my list, like yep. We did number 8. Now we're on number 9. Jude, tell me everything.
Yes, hello.
About what you're doing and where can everyone go and support you and join your queendom.
Yeah, so I'm Mermaid Queen Jude on everything except Twitter, because Twitter is a hater.
Yeah.
And biphobic. My Twitter is MERQUENJUDE. Because again, Twitter is biphobic and a hater. I'm doing wow, how do words work? It's late now.
Tell me. I don't know.
Anyway, I'm doing 2 videos a week, and then starting in May, I'm also streaming on Twitch and doing some photo stuff.
Hell yeah.
So if you want to...
so much.
Jude produces so much content, and it's all great.
Thank you.
It's all good.
Thank you.
I don't know if you rest, because it doesn't seem like it.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, good.
I promise.
On that grind.
Always.
Yes.
Yeah,
Always.
Didn't I see that you were doing photo shoots at VidCon?
Yes,
What the
I'm going to
fuck?
be doing that this year again.
Oh my gosh.
I did it last year, and it was really fun. And also, like, I need to pay for that trip somehow.
True.
So...
God damn. Welcome to Jude, who is doing the most at all times.
Hell yeah.
That's my Leo. I don't have a choice. The gods gave
We read the birth chart. We know why this is all.
Honestly, it all tracks, so
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as we say in Seattle,
Get bit.
and get wet.
Ow.
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrauseFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse. You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.